Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another Pioneer deck tech, and today we're going to be talking about Rakdos Zombies. I am very excited to share this list with you. As always, at the end of the video, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about the deck? Is there a specific zombie that I definitely should have put in this deck, or do you have suggestions for upcoming videos? Just let me know in the comments section. And this is also the 5th video featuring new cards from Duskmourn. So if you haven't checked out the other deck techs, definitely do that. They are very, very spicy. Okay, so Rakdos Zombies, what are we trying to do here? So the main inspiration behind this deck was Undead Sprinter. 2/2 for 2, trample and haste. You can cast it from your graveyard if a non-zombie creature died this turn. If you do, it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it, which I really liked Undead Sprinter. I think not even in a zombie deck, I think this card is just really, really good. And spoiler alert, we're playing some cheap interactions, so that way, you know, we can take our opponent's creature and quite easily recast the Undead Sprinter. So definitely a huge fan of this card. We're playing 4 copies of it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other cards that we're playing in this deck to feature it. So these are our 1-drops we're playing. 4 Champion of the Perished, 3 Dread Wanderer, and 4 Kumano Faces Kakazan, which I really do like the Kumano in this deck. Along with the other zombies, it's really good. Champion of the Parish, though, I would say is still, just like our Golgari zombies list, is the best zombie in the entire deck. I mean, Champion of the Parish is just hands down. The card is absolutely insane. It's just, you keep it. Turn 1, you got a couple lands and a champion, boom, you're keeping it. It's such a fantastic hand. But what other creatures are we playing in this deck? We're also playing 4 copies of Dread Horde Butcher, another really, really good red zombie with haste. I love Dread Horde Butcher in this deck. I think it's secretly one of the better cards in the deck as well. It can just get really big, and then when it dies, it deals some extra damage. So definitely a huge fan of that. We're also playing 4 Lazotep Reaver, goes really, really good with the champion. It's also really, really good with Lord of the Accursed. We're playing 4 copies of that as well. Lord of the Accursed is our only Lord that we're playing in this deck. I didn't want to get too flooded with the 3 drops, and I really do I just like Lord of the Accursed. And we also are a Gigantha deck, which I don't think I probably have that anywhere else in the rest of the video here. So we're also playing Gigantha, which is cool with Lord of the Accursed as well, because we can still do our zombie thing, and also we just have a free card that we can play at any time. So definitely a huge fan of that. So this next slide here, I really, really like all the cards featured here. So Monstrous Rage is just incredible, especially with Champion of the Parish. You know, we get it to like a 6/6, a 7/7, and our opponent just chump blocks it, and then all of a sudden, boom, Monstrous Rage. Give it +2, and then it gets +1/+1 and trample, and we just win the game with it. So definitely a huge fan of Monstrous Rage. And then Play with Fire and Fatal Push are our cheap interaction spells that can help us recast the Undead Sprinter from the graveyard. And they're also just really, really good cards. I mean, it's not Champion. Play with Fire is obviously just a fantastic shock, and then Fatal Push is Fatal Push, and Fatal Push will always do Fatal Push things. So definitely a huge fan of this whole deck. I think it's just really, really spicy. Let's go and hop into the lands real quick, which the lands, it's really, really simple. We're playing 4 Blackleaf Cliffs, 4 Blood Crypt, and 4 Blightstep Pathway is our main dual lands. The biggest thing with this deck is we're playing a ton of dual lands because we are tight on our mana. I mean, we need to have black on turn 1 or even red on turn 1, black on turn 2. It's really, really important. So we're playing these 12 dual lands, and then we're also playing 4 copies of Sulphurous Springs. Again, just really, really important. We are still playing 2 copies of 5 of the Eye Tyrant. Just having that little bit of late game reach is really, really sweet. We're playing 1 Cavernous Souls just because, you know, there's those pesky control players. They're going to try to counter our spells, and we don't want that to happen. So that's why we're just playing the 1 copy of Cavernous Souls. And then rounding out our lands, we're playing 1 Takenuma and 1 Swamp. And as our spicy basic land of the day, obviously we had to include the Duskmourn Swamp. Definitely huge fan of the artwork. You got the nice staircase going there, and then with that giant like claw at the top there, or 2 claws that's kind of tearing up the rest of the stairs. I don't know. It's just a really, really cool art. I really love the Duskmourn basic land art this time around. I think it's really, really cool. So let's go and hop into our sideboard here, and then we'll talk about our budget options for our deck. So sideboarding is going to be really, really simple. Graveyard Hate, we're going to need it. We're in black. We're playing Leyline of the Void. Enough said. Thoughtseize is just a really, really good card to play against other mid-range, or not other, just mid-range in control decks, just because you never know what's going on. We take out their board wipe, we take out their combo piece, we take out their, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. Thoughtseize is just really, really good. We're also going to want some extra cheap removal. I personally recommend playing some copies of Go for the Throat. I think it's our best option, at least at instant speed. You could play some really, you know, high value, like Rakdos Sorcery Speed, Molten Collapse, for instance, but I think just being able to have that instant speed is just really, really good. You also could play some copies of Rending Volley, just because it's a fantastic sideboard card. I'm also playing Claim to Fame in this sideboard. I think it's just really good against decks that are going to be bringing in all the removal. You have the Claim side, which can return a creature with CMC 2 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield, and then the flip side that can give it +2/+0 in haste. But essentially, it's just cheap reanimation for all of our really, really good cheap creatures like Undead Sprinter, for instance. So definitely a huge fan of the sideboard for this. And then the budget options for this deck, it's going to be really, really simple. Swapping the Blood Crypt and the Thoughtseize is the name of the game. I mean, Blood Crypt is really the only expensive dual land, except for kind of like the Sulfurous Springs, but not really. And then if you go ahead and swap out the Thoughtseize, the deck it gets even cheaper. The current list as it's built right now, though, is only $243 US, which is incredibly cheap for a Pioneer deck. You know, most of the, other Rakdos lists that play like Fable and such are way pricier than this. So just kind of, comparing that a little bit. But I was able to get the budget list down to $86. And all I did was I just cut the Thoughtseize and I played some of the budget dual lands. Because again, it's Rakdos. Most of the cost is just going to go into the dual lands. So if you really like zombies, or you just like Rakdos aggro and you want to play something really spicy, featuring some different cards that normally don't see play, then this would be the perfect deck for you. I mean, Dreadhorde Butcher as well as the Undead Sprinter are really, really good Rakdos zombies, which we don't get a lot of those very often. And heck, we got a couple of them and they're both fantastic. So definitely a huge fan of this deck. Let me know in the comment section below if you do end up playing this deck. So that takes us to the end of the video here. Thanks so much for watching. The deck lists are in the description below if you'd like to check them out for yourself. Huge shout out to our channel members, Ralph, Matt, Arcadius, Ray, Gary, and Sarwanoki. If you are interested in being a channel member, it's only $1 US a month. You get access to the exclusive Discord as well as other features here on the channel. So I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.